Hey, Ando here from Happy Life Martial Arts. Traditional martial arts, mixed martial arts. The trash talk between these two camps has been going on for decades now. Personally, I've trained most of my life as a traditional martial artist, but I've also bought more than a few MMA pay-per-views. Yup, I'm a fan of both, which is why I end up arguing with myself all the time. MMA, welcome to the show. Thanks for having me, TMA. Okay, first question. Let me ask you this. MMA sucks. That's not a question. Sorry. Why does MMA suck? It doesn't. But people say it does. Yeah, those people are idiots. Let me ask it this way. In your opinion, why doesn't MMA suck? Oh, come on, man. MMA is the greatest thing to happen to human beings since fire. It is the evolution of martial arts. Say what now? MMA is the evolution from the stupid techniques of traditional martial arts that don't work to realistic techniques that do. I see. So you're saying that before the first UFC in 1993, no one had ever seen a punch, a kick, or a choke before. No, I'm saying that MMA figured out how to test punches, kicks, and chokes in a realistic setting. So you took techniques that had been tested and proven to work on battlefields for thousands of years and you put them on TV. That's your evolution. Are you crazy? Look, be honest. Traditional martial arts might have been tested on a battlefield 1,000 years ago, but for the last 100 years, it's only been tested in shopping malls. You're calling traditional martial arts mall fighting? Hey, you can call them whatever you want. Just don't call them real fighting. Real fighting. In a cage, one-on-one, with an opponent the exact same size and weight, with rules and a ref, and no weapons, and time limits, because that always happens in a real fight. Yeah, well, it's more realistic than tag sparring or doing forms and fighting the air. You know, it's funny. In over 20 years of so-called real fighting, I still see a lot of MMA guys getting knocked out with a big overhand right, which my research shows was the first technique invented by the caveman. Maybe in another 20 years, you guys will evolve and figure out how to block a punch. And maybe you guys will figure out how to throw a punch at an actual person instead of a 1-inch board. For the record, I can break 3 or 4 1-inch boards. At the same time, I mean. Let's tie this up. On the question of tradition versus evolution, you vote for evolution. Yes, unless you want to continue the tradition of getting your ass kicked. You know, one thing that's still bugging me, when the UFC started, you could wear a jacket, pants, even shoes. Who decided to strip down and grease up? Do you find yourself fighting a lot of male strippers in the real world? Hey, the only stripping going on in MMA is the stripping away of all the nonsense you find in TMA. You mean like respect, integrity, discipline? Nonsense like that? Oh, please. MMA has just as much respect, integrity, and discipline as TMA. Just because we don't bow to each other all the time doesn't mean we don't respect each other. You sure about that? Seems like there's a lot of trash talking and brawling and steroid abuse over there in MMA. Really? Well, that's funny. Because the last time I checked, you guys have 1,000 different styles and 10,000 different federations because none of you can agree on whose fake fighting is the best fake fighting. Well, self-defense is an art form, so naturally we want to do things our own way. Even if it gets you killed. I get it. Hey, can I ask you a question? Sure. Have you ever even been in a real fight? I mean, like, ever. See, there's the big difference between us. I wouldn't brag about being in fights. I would rather brag about all of the fights I've avoided. As a traditional martial artist, I don't seek confrontation. You mean like confronting reality? Right. No, not right. How do I explain this? It's like Steven Seagal said, learn to heal people to be great. To hurt people is easy. Hard to kill? Don't. Just don't. Moving on. What do you see as the greatest difference between TMA and MMA? Easy. TMA was developed for children who want to earn stickers and adults who want to play ninja. MMA was developed for anyone who wants to really learn how to fight. And by anyone, you mean high school dropouts and people who couldn't cut it as professional boxers? No, that's just dumb. Anybody can train in MMA, whether they want to compete or not. I know. I was just kidding. Like you were kidding about the stickers and the ninjas. I wasn't kidding. All right, let's switch gears here. Why don't you tell me something you like about traditional martial arts, and I'll tell you something I like about mixed martial arts. Cool? Cool. All right, let's see. What I really like about TMA, karate, kung fu, taekwondo, is how you guys think you can bite your way out of every bad situation. I mean, do you brush and floss every class? What I really love about MMA is how it gives ex-cons a chance to make some money. What I like about TMA is how you guys award black belts to 6-year-olds. And I like how MMA gives permanent brain damage to everybody. I also like how MMA gives people a chance to be mediocre at many martial arts instead of just mastering one. Hey, maybe MMA should stand for mediocre martial arts. Well, better to be mediocre at multiple arts that actually work than a master of one art that doesn't. Are we done here? Just one more question. Why do wannabe MMA fighters feel the need to cover their body in tattoos? Is it because it's easier to look tough than be tough? Probably for the same reason you wannabe karate guys dress up like Okinawan fishermen from the 1800s. And what's up with that red jacket? You look like a candy apple. It looks cool. Nope. Goon. Fool. Animal. Candy apple. TMA is the only way. Taekwondo don't. It's an art for life. It's a sport for life. The goal is wisdom. The goal is glory. I just want to be the best I can be. I just want to be the best I can be. Did we just agree on something? I think so. That was weird. No, it's not weird. It's actually the point. TMA or MMA, we spend so much time talking about what makes us different that we forget to talk about what makes us the same. We all believe in hard work and dedication. We all believe in standing on our own 2 feet. We all believe that punching and kicking and choking is somehow a path to a better life. So, let's stop trashing each other and start supporting each other. Modern, traditional, mixed, classical, professional, amateur, full-time, part-time. We're all martial artists. Remember, the biggest difference isn't between the people who practice traditional martial arts and mixed martial arts. The biggest difference is between the people who practice martial arts and the people who don't. Think about it. Wouldn't it be cool if all of your friends and family trained with you? Wouldn't it be cool if every good person in the world was training to fight back against bad guys in some art at some level? Well, maybe if we show them how we're living happier, healthier lives, and maybe if we show them how we treat each other with respect and understanding, they'll want to join us instead of thinking that we're all crazy. Let's keep building bridges, not walls, my friend, and keep fighting for a happy life.